Hi, today I want to share again a brand new NFT game. I think that those who watch me for a long time have already seen the reviews made by me about this type of game. And those who started playing them are probably tired of the monotonous picture and want to try something new. I have great news for you, and in today's video I will tell you about a new, no less interesting, pixelated NFT game called Portal Fantasy, which launch is scheduled for the second quarter of this year. To begin with, Portal Fantasy, and I'll say it again, is a pixel-based, with viewed from above, that is third-person browser role-playing game that focuses on content created by the player base. Portal Fantasy combines two-player roles and revolutionary game mechanics into a modern interpretation of this classic genre. Also, the game has its own backstory, which is that 2,000 years have passed since the War of the Goddesses, where Ravenna is dead, and the Pylai Kingdom is once again prosperous. In the game there are portals. These are ancient magical creatures that inhabit the wilderness, and they have suddenly turned against humans. In this world, there are heroes and architects to save the kingdom and solve its mysteries. As a hero, you can explore different worlds, and you can also make friends here and raise different creatures to fight with them later as allies. And for architects, here is the opportunity to create and design different worlds, as well as creatures and objects that other players will encounter throughout their journey. The main feature of Portal Fantasy is a choice of two possible roles, this hero or architect. Heroes, as I said before, explore worlds, complete tasks and capture trophies, and heroes can also be fought and leveled up. As for the architects, their job is to create worlds, using the built-in map editor so that the heroes can explore them. The main task of Portal Fantasy, however, is to create interesting and engaging game content, so the basis of this task can be divided into 5 main missions. The first is that there is exciting gameplay and epic quests. For this, the developers have tried very hard over the game and made it bright and rich. There is a lot of interesting dialogues, quests, and most importantly, exciting stories with unusual characters. And also, the game is full of different jokes and ironic humor that will make your passing this world not so boring. The second is that there is a balanced and sustainable economy here. The ecosystem of the game is designed so that each player has equal opportunities. And this means that no one can take everything for money and be number one. But, nevertheless, the most active players, the game encourages pleasant rewards. The third is that Portal Fantasy is optimized for players, not for speculators. To do this, the developers made it so that all the most valuable items and so on, it was impossible to get without interaction with the game, and, accordingly, to get all the most important and valuable, you need to play the game. Also, Portal Fantasy doesn't want to interact with DeFi erratic mechanics and only chooses the best for its players. Fourth, this game is designed for absolutely everyone. You can play this game for your own pleasure and not connect to blockchain or NFT. But if you decide to connect to these features, you can do it in one click by clicking on the button Synchronize. And the fifth mission is to provide endless content, and accordingly, to have endless fun. Here the developers of Portal Fantasy realized that in order to keep the audience interested, the game should have a great abundance of gameplay content. And that's why Portal Fantasy brought together the best architects of Web 2 and Web 3 to create new maps, puzzles, and endless possibilities for players in the future. And all this information about something new in the game will be announced in the social networks of the project. By the way, it is worth noting that the project has attracted many venture capitalists and partners, all of whom are important throughout the world. I will not list them for you, because there are many of them. You can go to the project website and read this information yourself. I'd also like to add a few features of Portal Fantasy. There is replayability, which is a very important aspect of Portal Fantasy, so the developers have created a clear and balanced system of statistics for the 100 portals that will be available after the game's release. Replayability allows players to stay engaged in the game, without losing interest, in order to get the portals with the highest potential. And one of the main differences between Portal Fantasy and other games is the reward system, which depends not on the player's progress, but on the active growth of users. This means that the game does not depend on blockchain at all. Also among the features of Portal Fantasy is the fact that the game will not actively develop without user content. That is, it will be profitable for the architects, because they get rewards for publishing content, which will soon lead to new users. Also, Portal Fantasy has its own utility token called PFT, with a reserve of 1 billion tokens. This token is also created to reward active players. Also, this token is used to buy a character's appearance, character haul and other game features. And for architects, the PFT token will be used to buy special disposable map tiles, to increase the architect's canvas beyond a certain limit, and to buy cosmetic tiles that include buildings, trees, various objects, and so on. There is also an in-game currency here, called Portal Orb, or ORB, which is also used to reward players. The circulation of this in-game currency is not limited, but this circulation is well balanced to continuously reward the most active players. Now I would like to add a few words about the team, which lives games and burns with the desire to create something new and unique. They believe that innovation is the future in games, and they will do everything they can to involve as many users as possible in their game. I will not read about each team member, who he is and for what he is responsible in the project, as this is unnecessary information for the review. With information about the project team, you will also be familiar with yourself, if, of course, you are interested in this project. I also want to add that since the Portal Fantasy team thinks innovation is the future, they'll be releasing a mini-game, called Portal Combat, on January 31st, which is a mini version of the main game that you can fully play. Also, they will be giving away gift certificates on Steam, and all this will be done to attract new users. Well, to summarize, I can say that I really like their stance. Portal Fantasy doesn't chase trends, but creates its own trends, while keeping the whole point of games. And since most blockchain games only create interest because of the money, it's completely different here. Namely, this game is designed to be enjoyed and not to think about its boundaries, because we should not forget about the abundance of game content that we are given. So, if you were wondering, then join their official social networks, and follow the updates to the project, which is expected to be a lot after the release of this game. Also, I want to add that I do not urge anyone to do anything, all decisions you have to make on your own, and only after a more thorough study of projects. And as for me, I just do projects reviews. Well, that's all. Thank you all for watching. Put your likes, leave your opinion on the project in the comments, and also do not forget to subscribe to my channel. Bye.